Hi, I'm Joe. Welcome to another episode. Today we're going to propagate several rare snake plants. It'll be interesting to watch because I'm going to apply 4 different propagation methods for each plant. Recently, my Sansevieria ballyi plant was getting out of control. I really like ballyi species, but this one is kind of big to grow in my small room. However, it is still an interesting plant and it is producing another pup. So I decided to divide this before the shelf gets really crowded. I brought out 4 snake plants today. The first one is Sansevieria ballyi ERC12681, and I will divide this plant by cutting the stolon. It already has several stilt roots on it. The next one will be the Sansevieria pinguicula, and I will be doing a leaf cutting propagation for this plant. I'll do this last as I'll have to give it some more thought. I really don't want to divide this duo, but on the other hand, I also want to propagate it. The next one is Sansevieria hallii, the baseball bat. The new pup got bigger than the previous 2 leaves, so it felt like it's a good time to do something about it. There's not much information on how to propagate a baseball bat plant on YouTube. Let's see how it goes. The last one is Sansevieria hargeisana, LAV7382. I purchased this plant online in November of last year. You can see the mother plant got some cold damage during transit, but it survived. In the meantime, it produced 2 pups and the pot seems to be a little big for this plant. Also, this pot doesn't have a drainage hole. I did a good job controlling the amount of water when watering until now, but it is still safer to grow in a pot with a drainage hole. First, let's prepare the soil. Today, I will mainly be using a soil mix of an all-purpose potting mix, Coco Coir plus Perlite, and horticultural charcoal. And I have seen some gnats flying around the potting mix, so I will also pour some mosquito bits that also control fungus gnats. While mixing, it seemed like it needed more perlite, so I added more perlite. And the final soil mix looks like this. I'll say that looks like a good quality soil mix for snake plants. Okay, let's start with the ballyi plant. The tips of the leaves are really pointed, so you need to be careful. I think this plant can be considered one of the top 10 most lethal snake plants. The most lethal ones are pinguicula and frosted spears, just to let you know. Anyway, I'm going to use my clean pruning shears today. Simply cut the stolon where it is close to the mother plant. You'll need the stilt roots on the stolon for the pup. This one currently has 4 stilt roots. The 6-inch transparent pot I'm using today is actually made for orchids or aroids, so it has more holes in the bottom. I don't have a special type of mesh pad for this type of pot, so I will put some orchid bark on the bottom to prevent the soil from coming out and also provide extra drainage. Why not? Okay, this one is done. The top view of this pup is better than I expected. It has kind of a spiral form. It would have been better if the length of the leaves were consistent, but I think it still looks cool. Next, let's propagate the Sansevieria hallii, the baseball bat. It is actually producing its 4th leaf, but I just decided to work on this plant. Before I took this plant out, I thought it would have a rhizome between the leaves, but it turned out it didn't. And also that orange color looks really cool and unique at the bottom of the leaves. Anyway, I read an article before that you can simply divide the root ball when propagating, so I decided to give it a try. I used my hands for division, hoping it would be separated the way I intended. However, just like that, the 3rd and 4th leaves came off with no roots. Well, it will take more time, but I guess I'll just put it in the soil, similar to what you would do when propagating based on leaf cuttings. Let's first put the mother plant back in the original pot. That looks nice. Looks better to me just with 2 leaves. And I will put the separated leaf in a 4-inch transparent pot. This plant pot is also for orchids or aroids, and I find this pot visually more pleasing to look at instead of the common nursery pots. Gently press down the soil so the leaf stays still. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is Sansevieria hargeisana, LAV7382. The white or brown spots on the mother plant are where it got cold damage. Let's first take out the plant. As you can see, this plant produces new pups through rhizomes and currently has 2 pups. Interestingly, the root systems of the pups are longer. That is a very long root considering the size of the pup. I cut the rhizomes from the middle so the pups will still have roots. These pups are very cute with no imperfections. I will put the mother plant in a 6-inch pot and the pups in a 4-inch pot. Okay, that's done. Looks great. Finally, this will be the last plant propagation today, the Sansevieria pinguicula. I always wanted to propagate this plant but was hesitant because I didn't want to ruin the dual form of this plant. Let's get the plant out first. I placed this plant outdoors for the past several weeks and it rained yesterday, so the soil is soaked like this. My initial plan was to separate these two by cutting the connected stolon before propagating based on leaf cuttings, but I realized I didn't have to. I gently removed the leaves using my hand and maintained the dual form. Let's put the plant back in the original pot and top dressing. That looks okay. All the leaves that were ugly with imperfections are gone now. I hope it will recover the leaves in the future. Let's see how this goes. These are the pinguicula leaf cuttings. I got 12. I will put 3 leaves in each 4-inch pot and propagate 2 pots indoors and the other 2 outdoors. Okay, all set. Let's compare them a few months later. Okay, that's all the plant chores I've done today. It's really a beautiful day. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day too. I'm really grateful to see blue skies. Smokes from the Canada wildfire were crazy recently, and I hope everyone is doing well up there. And by the way, I'm also a hydrangea collector. I'll leave some bonus footage of hydrangea flowers for whoever might be interested. They are so beautiful this year and I can't help but share them. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.